We record these so we can post them to the Lions USA Facebook, our YouTube channel. And that way, people who couldn't make it tonight, if they're at a meeting or had kids or family over, that they can still go back and see what we were doing on this meeting and pick up whatever information we shared. So I like the technology that we do have available. It's awesome.
Bruce, you want to put that background in the chat box?
Yeah, the Wisdom Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah, I sure will.
Hi, Ted Peterson.
Howdy, everybody.
Hey, Mr. Tad.
Hi.
Good
Glad to have
morning.
you here.
Hey, there's the great Vince,
Ben?
friend.
Hey, how you doing, Paula?
I am fabulous, man. Nice to see you tonight.
You ever gonna catch up to me?
I don't think so. I'm trying, but I just I cannot catch you. You're on fire over there on membership. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to bow down to the great Vince on this one.
I got another 10, but I'm not gonna make the 150. I'm gonna get close, but I just won't make it.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
And the Wisdom Wednesday background, if anybody wants it for their green screen, is in the chat box. Go ahead and download it. It's there for you. Use it anytime you want. We're the more people who show up, the better we are.
Just want to warn everybody, Frankie's in the house.
Ooh, Frankie.
Hey,
heard
Steve Middlemiss. Good to see you on.
How are you, Bert?
Steve?
Doing great.
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while. How you doing, Mark?
Good. Hi, Reed. Hi, Jocelyn.
How you doing, Steve?
Good, Ed. I guess we'll see you in a few days.
Yes.
Good.
Hey, Miss Rachel from Missouri. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, we've got so many cool people on here.
You know, I'm trying to decide here if Bert was paying people to show up, or if everybody's coming because of Paula and Deb.
I think it's Paula and Deb.
It's Paula.
I am absolutely going to take that. Thank you, and Deb, you can take it too. Thank you so much for that.
We will.
I didn't know Bert was going to be on here tonight.
Well, please stay anyway.
At our multiple meetings, when we have them, we actually pay to not have Bert tell jokes. So, I mean, it's worth it to us.
So
you take Zell?
Reverse tail twisting, huh?
Yeah, it sounds like an LCIF fundraiser to me.
It is every time we're with him.
Yeah.
Yep.
When he was in Missouri, we heard a lot of Bert jokes.
I'm sorry.
Some of them I've even repeated.
Oh no.
I was just looking at Bert's joke book the other day.
Well, we're coming down the home stretch, and it is 7 p.m., everyone.
Here.
So we start promptly and we end promptly on Wisdom Wednesdays. Mark, anybody pops into the chat, if you'd let them in, or thank you. So welcome to the amazing Wisdom Wednesdays, and we have got an absolutely fabulous show on this April 1st. When our education team was talking about what we should do for this, one unanimous response virtually, Lion Bert. It's humorous, it's fun, and he brings the fun to meetings. When we reached out to Lion Bert Nelson, one of our current sitting and international directors, we invited him to bring guests, and that's how we got Lion Deb Bialke and Lion Paula Turner to join us. Deb is also from Multiple District 5M, and Paula comes from Multiple District 19 out west. And she's a potato head. Mrs. Potato Head. Yeah, Idaho. So the whole focus for tonight is having fun in Lions. If we're having fun, we don't really have to worry about retention because I haven't met one lion when I talk on an exit interview. Bruce, I was having way too much fun. My heart couldn't take it. I had to leave. I had to leave. So we're going to work on all of us bringing the fun to our Lions activities we do. And with that, Lion Bert Nelson, would you get us started?
Oh, I'd love to. And I mean, the two presenters we got tonight, Deb and Paula, you will enjoy what they have to share with you for ideas. But yes, as you can see, I love to have fun and do tell a lot of stories and jokes. And well, the other day I got kind of upset. I actually had to call Bruce, being a retired, deputy or a detective, and that my neighbor was stealing my socks. And I was going to confront him, but I got cold feet. Because I just love telling dad jokes, and sometimes he laughs. But I mean, you guys know why, dads feel that they have to tell such bad jokes. They just want to help you grown up.
Oh,
I know they're
What a
terrible
bump.
because when a joke becomes a dad joke, when it's a parent, and why you shouldn't tell a dad joke if you're not a dad, because it's a faux pas. But I have a great joke about nepotism, but I only tell it to my kids. Do I have everybody awake and their attention now? Paula, do you want to follow that?
I can, but I will try. I'm not sure, but I will definitely try. But before I begin, I need to share this important update from Lions Clubs International. This is really important. I just want to read this to you because I just barely got this message and I know you'll all want to hear it. And it says, effective immediately, all Lions meetings must follow the new standardized fun protocol. Number 1, fun must be scheduled between 7:42 and 7:45 p.m. only. Laughter must be approved by the tail twister in advance, and spontaneous joy is strongly discouraged. And all jokes must be submitted in triplicate to the district governor. It is April Fool's, friends, but here's the truth. If fun has to be forced, scheduled, or assigned, it's really not very much fun. And that's why today my message is really simple. It takes you to have fun. And engagement really isn't the president's job. It's not the tail twister's job. It's really not leadership's job. It really actually belongs to every lion in the room. And we all know this. So engagement, think about the best Lions meeting that you've ever attended. And I want you to drop this in the chat. Let's go and see, what was something that really caught you, that you really enjoyed? What made it fun? Let's drop it in the chat. Let's get a couple of responses here. Let's see what really stood out to you about how much fun this club meeting was that you went to. I am not seeing anything. Here we go. Anybody? Nobody's had any fun at their meetings, apparently. Recognition and improvement and appreciation. Okay, what else makes it fun? What makes your club fun? Wow. Okay, win it in the minute games. A good twister, yep. Okay. When we talk about the things that we think about, fun people, exactly right. Hanging out with people I enjoy, yep. When we don't take things so serious, that is absolutely true. Now we're getting some, when we had other clubs attending meetings and we shared ideas and memories. I love that. Doing fun, silly games. Okay, Lion Lori, she takes time for mixers, guest introductions, and icebreakers. We're going to talk about that a little bit here in just a few minutes, but I want you to think about this. None of those things that we just read off there had to do with an agenda. Now, I know agendas are important and that keeps the meeting going, but that is not fun. So fun really, The answers really said people, connection, and laughter and purpose. And fun is not really something we plan. It's something that we have to create together, because this ties directly to Lions values. So the first thing is service. And we really serve better when we enjoy volunteering. Collaboration. Fun builds stronger teams. It really does. And you know that. You've been on some of these fun things where they've been really enjoyable. And those are the things that you will remember, because fun opens the creativity in all of us. And really, meetings fail when they are done to members, and meetings tend to succeed when they are created with the members. And ineffective meetings are just one of the top reasons members engage. And we all know that members disengage. And we all know that from our exit polls that none of us take, but we ask on the side in the hallways afterward, why did you drop out? Because I am so bored, I just can't take this anymore. So tonight I'm going to give you 4 ways that you can create the you in fun. You need to show up. Energy is contagious. You can tell when somebody is excited about something. If you show up tired, your meetings are going to feel tired. If everybody comes at the end of the day at 7 o'clock and they come dragging in, they're going to be tired. But if you have a couple of people that show up engaged, that meeting lifts, and you've got energy created right off the bat, right at that door. So number 2, you need to participate. Don't wait to be asked. Just turn on, ask questions, share ideas, and volunteer for the small roles. You all are in charge of your own club destiny there. You can get involved and make a difference right out of the gate. Your teams will be more effective because excitement in participation increases your club's commitment. Number 3. Number 3. I can't count today. Number 3. You invite others in. So we need to include the quieter members, the guy in the back that never says anything. I got 2 of those guys back there. I can't get a word out of them. So go back there, sit with them, talk to them, see what they're about. You may get surprised. And you might find that you've got more engagement out of them immediately. Go sit with somebody new that you don't know. How many times have you walked into a meeting and been kicked out of somebody's chair because they said, you can't sit there? And you said, well, why not? And then all of a sudden they say, well, that's Joe's chair. He sits there. Well, make them mad. Just sit there anyway. I don't care. You need to engage with these people. They are some of our clubs are so stuck in their little thing. They can't see out of it. Go sit in their spot, move them around, make them move, have them engage. We need to build belonging in our clubs. Think about the little ways that you can build that belonging. Call them up if you haven't seen them in a while. Ask them if they're okay. What have you been doing? It's this reflects diversity and inclusion as well. Engage your younger members. Engage your if it's primarily a men's club, make sure that the women in that club are being included. This is important, and stronger clubs come from really diverse participation. We all really know this. That sometimes we just forget to make sure that they all feel included. And so number 4, we're up to 4. Okay, 4. Yeah, we're 4. You create the moment. You need to celebrate those wins. You need to talk about the birthdays, the big life events, the anniversaries, the things that are important to your members. We can take 2 minutes on the front end and make sure that we're all feeling like we want to be there, right? And it just takes you to make that little bit of a difference. You can add humor, have a joke contest, not you, Bert, not you, Bruce. No, let somebody else take a turn, because I know you guys are really good at this. But you can have a joke contest. You can suggest new ideas. This is so important that we make it practical So we make it practical. I'm gonna give you 3 tools that you can put into play tonight, not tonight, maybe tomorrow when you go to your meeting. I've got a 2-minute spotlight. You're going to highlight one of your members at each one of your meetings. We've done this in the past. It's fascinating because I don't know them all very well. And, they don't always know me either. So ask fun questions like, what was your first job? What is your hidden talent? What was your favorite project that you've done recently? Tool number 2 is learn and laugh. You can do this. You can start this up, your next project. Start up quick trivia about Lions history. Funny service stories. I've got a million weird, funny stories that we've heard out there. Share some of those. That's really fun. And then you can try mini icebreakers. And I challenge you to go with 2 or 3 icebreakers and just ask your president if you can do those. We don't have to wait for the tail twister to get involved. We really don't. What we can do here is we can appoint in our clubs a fun director. It's kind of like a ship's cruise director to make sure everybody's having fun. And, it doesn't have to be the tail twister. My tail twister likes to do a drawing for a raffle prize. And that's fine. But the fun tail twister might create themes for our service projects. Imagine what it would be like if we were doing a creek cleanup in clown costumes or duck costumes. How much fun would that be? I mean, we might get a few new members out of that if they saw us all walking around. We could have prizes for the best costumes. We don't have to be serious all the time. We can have theme meetings like funny sock night or crazy hat night. But my all-time favorite I'm going to share with you is it's not a hat night. This right here, let me show you this. This is not a hat. Come with something that is not a hat. You might wear a tin can, you might wear a salad bowl or an empty Kleenex box. You can create that fun. It doesn't take that much work. These are so much fun. All right, so I would like to add in just a couple of more points here, and I would like you to think about changing the perspective just a little bit about what you're putting out as your social media. What does that look like when you put that on Facebook? What does it look like to you? To me, and I've been in 100 pictures this last year of me standing up there presenting something to some guy, and we all look like we're half asleep, right? But Lion Bruce, this is where you come in. I would like you to think about this picture, if you can pull that up now. That's not the one, but do the other one instead. For just a minute, we'll talk about that one in just a second. This one right here. Look how much fun these people are having. Lion Bruce came to a convention that I was at recently, and we were having so much fun. That's what I want all of your pictures to look like from now on. Because when I am a new member scrolling through, a potential new member scrolling through Facebook, and you run across something like this is the place that I want to be at, not at the place where we see the 2 guys standing there in front of the room getting some presentation. So be mindful of that. The other thing I'd like you to think about here, and thank you so much, Lion Bruce, for letting us use your picture. And a lot of his pictures look like this. I've seen 2 or 3 of them on there. And I'd like you to think about this. What if every member brought just 10% of the energy? How would your club or your project feel? 10% more is all I'm asking you to bring. And if you would throw that other picture up there now, Lion Bruce, for me, please. This is Lion Frankie. I have seen Lion Frankie in a local production of Dancing with the Stars, dressed as Elvis to raise money for his community. He has raised money by allowing kids to throw tomatoes at him at a Ren fair. I have seen him in a sparkly cocktail dress in a bar to raise money for LCIF. And I've seen him show up in full leprechaun costumes, and he's on here tonight. So thank you very much for the picture, Lion Frankie. For I've seen him show up and he is Irish, and look at that mustache. Yeah, so Irish, he's crazy. But and I'm going to tell you, I can't confirm or deny that he may have worn this duck suit on the plane to our convention when we had a duck gala. Now, this man is somebody who leans in to fun. He doesn't just show up half-assed. He shows up 100%. I challenge you to think about what places that you can show up as 100%. Be like Lion Frankie, because the future of your club doesn't really depend on leadership alone. It actually depends on you, and you can't have fun without you. So thank you so much for coming and listening to me this evening. And I am going to hand that back to Lion Bert.
Do we have any questions?
Oh,
thank you.
questions.
Thank you, Bert. Any questions while Paula's with us?
You're going to have to, I was not able to watch our
We didn't see any questions. If somebody's got a question, go ahead and unmute. And
thank you so much. I appreciate your support here. You know, this is a new experience for me to be a presenter. So thank you for putting up with my faux pas there while I worked through all of that.
You did a wonderful job.
Thank you, Paula.
I'm missing the toothbrush.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes. I'm sorry. That will be next time. So invite me back again.
Not seeing any questions other than an awesome job, Paula. Thank you again for everything, and keep it up. That's what we need to hear and see. We're going to switch over to our next speaker here in just a second, Deb Bialke, and I'm looking forward to hearing her. But I just want to share with you guys, up until the invention of the crowbar, crows used to have to drink by themselves. And with that, I will turn it over to Deb.
All right. Am I unmuted? We're good? All right. Thank you, everyone, for having me. And tonight, I know we're all about acronyms, and most people would think tail twisting was TT, but I think it's more like FFF, fun, fellowship, and fundraising. So I would like you all to think about all the things that you do at your meetings, because clubs, districts, and multiples, we focus on membership, leadership, service. But there's something that sits quietly in the background that impacts all three. And to me, that's tail twisting. There's always time for fun. And we should always be ready, no matter how they get you. As you can see here, I got into a little bit of trouble in a couple different instances, but the more fun you have, the better it will be in your club, because clubs that laugh together stay together. All right, how many of you have tail twisting in your clubs? Raise your hand. I know that some clubs don't like to do tail twisting. I would check into it and see why not, because maybe there's some ideas your club could all come together on and come up with some new ideas, because you need to keep your meetings fun and energetic, and then people look forward to attending. And if that happens, that really means you have a good tail twister. How many of you have ever been fined by a tail twister? If your hand isn't up, you're not having enough fun, because usually it's when you're fun doing wild and crazy things, somebody will get you for it. Believe me, I can speak from my experience. So share in the chat. I see you guys have been putting some great ideas in there. When Paula was talking, Any other great ideas that you thought that your tail twister did, please share them, because anybody who wants to take on that position or try it is always looking for great ideas. Next one, Bruce. Little bit of the history Paula mentioned too. Some of the old names in tail twisting were like Demon of the Dime or Debunker of Dignity, Spitzerrichter. If any of the ones that are older in Lions, they might remember that name being passed around. But they finally did. There was some farmers at the meeting, and they said they would twist a cow's tail when they kind of didn't mind, and to kind of guide them a little bit. And so then from then on, it kind of became the tail twister. And I think that's a lot easier to say than the Spitzerrichter, believe me. So, and next slide, we talk about more what a tail twister does, what their responsibilities are. And, you know, we like to keep members engaged because that shows interest. And by doing that, we build relationships and club spirit. And we create a lot of fellowship within our members. And when you are getting new members, which we are out for on Mission 1.5, a great way to welcome them is to show them we're not all work. We have fun when we do things. And adding humor is always a great thing. And besides that, we're raising a little money for our admin fund or for our foundations. So there's nothing wrong with a little bit of fun. And then look at the energy you build within your clubs and the morale booster that it creates. And then, you know, you're kind of noted as a fun coordinator rather than a tail twister, which is fun. But my favorite is when they call me the meeting spark plug, because they always know there's going to be a little spark of something, but they never know the direction that it's coming from. Some of the tail twisting ideas. Oh, sorry, Bruce, next, please. Some of the ideas that tail twisting, everybody's looking for ideas. How do I tail twist? What do I use? Well, try doing tail twisting on your club projects or a community event or storytelling. Some people theme their tail twisting. If they're in a farm, they do something with farming or rural areas, or they do sports, or something that they're very proud of in their community or that someone has done. And then we recognize achievements and service accomplishments. Maybe someone's volunteer milestones. Maybe they've got a lot, many hours on what they do as a volunteer. And also, you know, your first-time visitors or members, we like to make sure and recognize them. Trivia is always popular. You can use Lions information. You can use holidays, anything that's going on. One last night we actually used at my club. They did the flip a coin one, where you flip and you do the the heads and the tails. I actually went all the way through it. And then if you got knocked out, you actually could buy your way back in. So if it was like the third round and you wanted to keep playing, you had to pay $4 to get in the fourth round. So we really generated a lot of money, and I even won a 6-pack of beer. So I thought, hey, this is good. But again, change it up, be creative. This is some of the fun, happy Lions dollars. I created these. Sometimes we do it for awards. If someone's doing great things in the club and you want to give them some, you give them that dollar bill. And then when they get fined, they can put that dollar in there so it actually doesn't come out of their pocket. Just a little fun. I don't know if anybody that does hundreds and fifties, because I know we don't, but I had to put them in there. But I do know sometimes when I took these prints, my printer wouldn't print them because the color shading was like the printed money, and it warned me about printing counterfeit bills. So, but anyway, a little bit of fun, different ideas, decide how you want to award them, and just have some fun. Next slide, Bruce. After that one, we'll go right ahead. Great interactive ideas always are good to exchange. Fun facts about members, learning about your members, learning about your leaders. People do 50-50 raffles, and then some do fines, like if you miss a meeting, or you're wearing rival sport gear, or you forget your Lions pin, funny mistakes you make, all that kind of stuff. Just little teeny ideas to help start you out. And sometimes people will set up a competition at tables. They'll come up with a little game, and everybody always likes competition. So again, be creative, come up with things, look for things. There's always somebody out there that has a little competition that you can create, and maybe have a prize for who gets first place, like my 6-pack of beer. So any of that can help. Next. And your best tail twisters, they plan ahead. They read a room. You try to get everybody included. You rotate participation. You keep it moving. And people will like to come back when they feel welcomed. And don't be afraid to use props. I've used props in some of my stuff. You'll see in some pictures coming up. But I'm not scared to, at a convention, a winter convention I've done, I pick out 1 or 2 out of the audience, get them something that they did, or that, especially if they don't want to tell people or let people know, I somehow find out. And I always love tail twisting at midwinters because I save a lot of money on myself, so I can collect. I don't have to spend. But I usually pick 1 or 2, and then I try to get a group one. And I usually try to set a goal. Like if it's a club, the club kind of decides. You'll do $2 a night or $3, and you try not to go over that so that people don't feel like you're gouging them. But at a convention, you usually expect a little more. So I try to get a goal of like maybe $3, maybe push $4 a person, just because that's usually done for big foundations, etc. like that. I always feel I can ask for a little bit more. But set it to your crowd, set it to your event that you are doing it at, and don't be afraid to pick on singles and then go to the whole group and then pick on a couple singles, because we all know somebody does something at a convention. Next, Bruce. You want to create a strong club, because by having a strong club, you are positive, and you're setting a positive audience around all your members. And you're inclusive when you are including all the members. Don't just try to pick on the same guy all the time, but you try to keep it short, maybe 5, maybe 10 minutes. Convention maybe just a little bit longer, but you always try to remember the fun. And especially, again, when you have new members, because strong fellowship makes stronger member retention. And we know that that's an important factor, is people leave because they say the meetings are boring. But hey, if you've got someone in there creating fun and your members are all laughing and stuff, that maybe can help them along until they become more involved and see all the great things that your club is doing. Next. Here is kind of a challenge to clubs, especially if you're struggling with not liking a tail twister. Maybe share and invent some ideas and help that tail twister out. Some of them will create a great container. I've seen horns, I've seen lion's bells, I've seen lion's banks. I don't know if that'll go on my camera. And just collect it in fun little things. Try different ideas, help them out, help guide them. Because I know sometimes it's the ideas. And districts maybe recognize great tail twisters. A lot of people think it's easy, and some people it comes to naturally, and some people have a little bit harder struggle. But if they get a little guidance at the beginning, give them some ideas, just help them along. And that's what we're all about. We're all about working that together. Next. This one I know Bruce can say he participated in, but he's not in my picture. Bruce, if you'll grab the next slide up there.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Nope, that's fine. This one we did at our midwinter, but we did it also at the Roar for a Cause and some other things. And it was called a human slot machine. So you get a few people back there and they go ding, and then they hold up the article, and you have like 4 articles back there. And if they match, they win a prize. And if they don't match, we always gave like a candy bar or something. But you could do whatever you want. We had 100 grand candy bars, and somebody said, "Oh, my $5 donation, and I made 100 grand. I'm in. That's a great return." So got everybody else's curiosity up, so they had to come and check it out also. But make sure and have fun. And like I said, be creative and laugh. Okay, Bruce, next one. There's also a lot of these around. I'm kind of old school, so I like to, when I'm doing it in front of a group, I like to have the actual material stuff up there. A lot of techies and stuff are out there. They prefer the digital. So you can do it any way you want. But I've seen Wheel of Fortune created into Lions stuff. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? Do you want to be a millionaire? Friendly Feud, Jeopardy. I think a lot of those are all interchangeable. If you're creating some of those questions and answer situations, I think they could be crossed over between all of these games. A lot of the digital stuff is online. I don't really have any of that stuff saved in my computer, but I know it's available out there because I've seen it at different conventions. So go out there, reach out on the internet and check it out, because that could open a new great door. We've done Jeopardy at our midwinters, and we actually had some of the newer members, not to pick on them, but they wanted to volunteer. And one of the Leo girls, who had been a Leo for quite a while, she wanted to join in. And we did the Jeopardy game, but we kind of interjected because we said, you can ask a friend, and that's taken again from another game. But use your creativity to help them out and see what kind of fun you can create using all that, because there's a lot of this available. Next. This was a tool that I know Brian Sheehan would absolutely love. In fact, he was the first one to buy one off of me. When I was district governor, there's always stealing the gavel. So I created these as my district governor gift to all of the presidents, and it said, "Club President, get your gavel back free." Kind of raised funds, but it was still kind of an interactive, fun thing. I gave this to all the presidents, so if someone stole their gavel, they could give them this pencil gavel and then get their gavel back for free. However, then they were without a pencil gavel, so for a mere $5 donation to LCIF, I would get them another pencil gavel. I thought it would promote a little bit more stealing in my district and stuff, but everybody wanted to so hold on to those pencils. I think it didn't quite go, but I'm going to say I probably stole maybe about 25 gavels that year, but I think some of them just kind of got handed over to me and they didn't even realize that Brian would have been impressed. She handed me the mic and the gavel at the same time and didn't realize it till I said it. But anyway, but just think of creative ideas like that and go ahead and try sharing with it. Okay, next. Okay, a lot of these are of me, a lot are my friends, but you see all around us, you'll see fun. We're always dressing up. We're always having a good time. We're interjecting fun. When I was sergeant at arms, I was known in my district with the handcuffs. And just go out of your box and just have fun. Do crazy things no matter where you go, not just at a club as a tail twister, but just interject fun and no matter what event you are at. Next, Bruce. Another one. Don't be afraid to take the dive. Dive in, try out tail twisting. Here I have a couple that were at a midwinter convention who challenged everyone, if you raise $1,000, we'll jump in the pool. And they raised $1,000, they jumped in the pool. but it was 30 below outside, and they went straight from the pool, ran out the back door, laid in the snow at 32 below, made snow angels, then came back in and jumped in the hot tub. Real great, energy, enthusiastic guys that just had a good time. I'm also on here trying to steal a gavel. Whenever I go places, you'll see me getting arrested. Usually I take bail money, but just fun pictures like that. I usually get fined for it because I made the papers or something, but however, you're interjecting fun. Throw those in your newsletter. Make a contest out of it. Do all kind of wild and crazy things. Like I said, it doesn't have to be just done at the club. Next. Again, more fun pictures. Just wherever you go, you can see I'm always doing something or into something. So don't be shy. Maybe a way to come out, but it's always having fun and doing things around others. And most of the time they always go, uh-oh, I wonder what she's up to now. And you keep the curiosity up. So people keep coming back and say, what's she going to do next? So, okay, next. And it may seem like a small role, but that role as tail twister has a big impact on member retention. It also creates a great positive club culture. And that also leads to fundraising, success, fellowship, all the things that we thrive for in our club. And great tail twisting helps clubs live up to our Lions motto. So be creative, be loose, let loose, try being a tail twister, keep those meetings full of laughter and fun, because fun builds fellowship. Great fellowship strengthens our clubs. Strong clubs serve more, and we serve, and it is more fun to serve together. On the last slide here, I left my email, and I invite anybody, if I can help in any way as you're trying to get off the ground as a tail twister or just looking for some crazy ideas or something, please feel free to email me, and I will help you if I can. And I'm sure I can think of a crazy thing or two to make your meeting fun. And I'm usually with the hat, so tonight's my no hat night. But as you see, I usually have something on my head. So if you see me around at a convention or multiple or midwinter or international, look for the hat. You'll find me. Come and say hi. And thank you so much for letting me share this evening with all of you.
I'd like to take a minute to interrupt Lion Deb. I am really fortunate that I do know Deb, and she walks into a room and everybody just goes, "Oh, Deb's here," because she always brings that extra flair with her, whether it's a color or hats, whatever. But she can just light up a whole room. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
We got a couple questions.
Sure.
One wants to know, what do you put in your mystery envelopes? What are you doing, and how do you give them away?
You can put anything in a mystery envelope, and you can give it away however you want. You can put money in there. You could put gift cards. You can create it. It'd be like doing a mystery bag and putting a prize in a mystery bag and then auction it off. You can do a drawing for it, however you want to.
And then also explain Happy Dollars one more time.
Happy Dollars was like those fun little dollar bills that I had, and I put my face in them. And again, you can award them for being a great committee member. You can award them for volunteerism, for something great they did within the community. And then they can have those. And then if they get a tail twisting fine sometime, they can take that happy dollar and pay that fine. But like I said, I did $50 bills, $100 bills. We really don't do that in our club or do anything that high. Some people have done it where they've awarded club members that, and then they use it as auction money to auction off a mystery prize or something like that too. So you can kind of do it however, whatever you guys create. There's really no right or wrong or that my way is the right way, because there's a lot of different ways to do it.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
And
Thank
a
you,
lot of
everyone.
thank you, Deb. Thank you, Paula. What a wonderful evening. This has been wonderful. A lot of great ideas, and you've got a lot of, well, talented people here on Tail Twisting. I won't use Bruce's name in it because he cost me a lot of money when he protected one of my golf clubs one time. So, yeah, I'm not, you know, he helped me out of my golf club.
So we gave
I
you a
had to,
handicap, huh?
yeah, yeah. Does anybody have any questions for our panels or any information you would love to share? We got a few minutes left here, correct, Bruce? So,
Yes, you do.
so if anybody would love to ask any questions or share anything, I was very fortunate to be at a district convention where we had a contest making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches blindfolded. And I was fortunate enough to be in the fourth crew of them. And I asked again for what were the rules. And they said just make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I was able to make mine in about 8 seconds because I did not use the knife. I was willing to put my fingers in the peanut butter and in the jelly and slap a sandwich together. So be brave and have fun out there, especially if they don't explain the rules very well. Any other comments or ideas out there?
Would you kindly publish a list of topics for your future webinars?
Yes,
Bruce?
I will. I'll be happy
All
to
right,
do
thank you
that.
very much.
So, with no other questions, I am going to give a little wrap up here, but I'd like to say thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every one of you for stopping in and helping out tonight and enjoying and picking up a point or two on having fun at our Lions activities. So, here's some upcoming things right now. If you're interested on some of our Lions Youth program. On the third Monday of every month, and this will be April 20th, is a new club navigator program. And this is for all clubs that are less than 5 years old or less, because sometimes they come into challenges as new clubs that we don't have as seasoned clubs and finding their niche in the community. And the only Lions allowed on that program are Lions who've been in less than 5 years. And so you're all in the same boat and you encounter some of the same things. And if you got new clubs, invite them to stop in, because the agenda, so to speak, is generated from the attendees and what they're encountering, and whether they're telling success stories, this was great, it worked, or if they're saying, man, that bombed, what did we do wrong, you know? And so it's to help our younger clubs find their niche and get on solid ground. Um, Upcoming Tuesday, April 21st, mark your calendar for this one. This is Meet Your ID Candidates for Constitutional Area 1. Our host is going to be International Vice President Mark Lyon, and it starts at 7 p.m. Central. All Lions USA programs start at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, but April 21st, Meet Your ID Candidates. This year we have 14 candidates for 5 openings. So that's what's happening there. The fourth Monday of each month is Membership Mondays. And this is for any Lion. You don't need to be the club officer or the district GMT. This is for any Lion who wants ideas about how they can add members, add growth, invite new people. And I like the word invite instead of recruit, because then I'm having a conversation with people. And so Membership Mondays is on the fourth Monday. So that's April 22nd, 7 p.m. CST. Just pop in, see if it fits or works for you, pick up a new idea or two. On Wednesday, now here you can do all your incoming presidents a huge favor. We all get to take a look at the Club Excellence document and what you need to achieve Club Excellence for your year, right? And your club is president. What we have this year is our incoming president for next year, Mark Lyon, on May 6th at 7 p.m. He is going to give an overview of next year's Club Excellence Award criteria. You know what? If the presidents find out before July 1st, they can actually think through their year and plan. I am confident that we are going to raise CA1 Club President Club Excellence Award from under 10%, and I would like to see it up around 40 to 50% people. So talk to your club presidents and have them sit in on that meeting. All right. That was May 6th. And the last one I'll tell you about is Thursday, May 14th. And always on the second Thursday, we have what is called Roar and Pour. And this is a virtual hospitality room. It's fun. You make new connections, new people, new faces. You get inspiration. You laugh, you share laughs, play games, and you swap ideas. It's just a fun social night with other Lions having fun together. So stop in at the Roar and Pour on the second Thursday of each month. So that will be May 14th is the next time you get to hear that one. And with that,
well,
I'm just going to say
LCI Live.
LCI Live. Okay, here's what I know. LCI Live is the third Thursday of each month. I had it scheduled for leadership division, but I just talked with John Montgomery, the head of our leadership division at headquarters, and he asked if it would be okay if he puts off till September. I said, yes, it would. Right now, I have an idea of my replacement. Actually, I think I just haven't spoke with her, and I can do that tomorrow, but I want to get Sue Benz from IT, and she will go over everything portal, everything. She knows it inside and out. She's the head of our IT division, and she can answer everything, or if there's a shortcut to find the data you're looking for, she can tell you how to get it. I just need to confirm with her if she's ready to go this coming the third Thursday of this month, and I've got her right now, the 16th, and see if she will be ready for that. So what I do want to tell everyone, and I will put flyers on Lions USA Facebook page and on my page, is both programs are taking the summer off because our Lions are so busy out doing their fundraisers, picnics, or family events, right? Vacations and travel, that we're taking off June, July, and August. And we want everyone to have an awesome summer with your clubs, and we'll be back in September. But I've given you the lineup on everything through May except LCI Live. I really believe I'll fill it. I just be it'd be nice if Sue was here, because then she would have to go, oh yeah, I guess I can, Bruce. Thank you. So, but I will put out on our Lions USA Facebook page what it is. I saw several people did ask. All of our programs and all the ones I've listed for you are recorded, and they're put on the Lions USA YouTube channel, and that is called Lions Rock. If you that way, for any of these programs, or if you want to go back and see what some of them are like, you can go and watch videos of the previous programs, and they're categorized by title, like Wisdom Wednesdays, LCI Live, you know what I mean? They're by category, and so you can go back and look them up.
Bruce, you could they could keep track of things on the calendar, LionsUSA.org calendar.
Yes. And actually that's where everything is, and that goes to our website, and our calendar is continually updated, and it's always got the current information and the link to join. You know what I mean? To pre-register so you get the Zoom link
Okay.
sent to you. Thank you, Lion Mark. I appreciate that.
LionsUSA.org.
And just look for the calendar. The calendar will jump out at you.
Wonderful.
Any other thoughts, questions, comments? Oh my God, you guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for all that you guys do in your communities. That's what we do, is we live and serve. You have a great one and have a good evening. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Yay.
Good job.
Happy Easter.
Happy
Yes, happy
Easter.
Easter.
Happy
Happy
Easter.
Easter.
Happy, happy,
Everyone.
happy, 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 happy.
Happy April Fools.
We're so happy. Oh. I gotta stop the recording here.